Welcome to the next episode of Comedy Guy. We're back in the studio. We got all the foam rocking here in the studio. It's looking out. In this next episode, here we are. It's a regular one. And in this episode, I have this young gentleman, Caleb Brunick. Caleb is American. He has been living in Estonia for a while. He studies here. He is a Comedy Estonia comedian. He's been doing shows with us for quite a while now, doing stuff. He is legend of TikTok. I've heard it's the biggest TikTok account in Estonia. I don't know. That's just what I heard. I don't know. Maybe from you. But Caleb Brunick, a big star of stand-up, doing TikTok. We're going to be talking about being a foreigner in Estonia. We're going to be talking about I don't even know. I don't know what TikTok is. I don't know how it works. So I'm gonna find out about that, and we're gonna compare. We're gonna be looking at Caleb's journey as a foreigner here in Estonia, also doing stand-up, and then we can compare that to sort of my journey of being a stand-up as well, doing that maybe sort of 10 years before this sort of thing. So, Caleb Brunick.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. Thank you.
Well, I'm happy to be here. I always appreciate any time someone that brings me on their podcast or literally gives me any opportunity to open my mouth. Not like that though. Maybe. Hey. So yeah, I love Estonia. Yep, we got a new president, so I need to make that clear. I love Estonia.
Jesus, you got to just like roll it out straight away.
Yeah.
You really are deep into the cultural shit on TikTok. I love you guys. And here's 5 things I know about Estonia. Let me tell you. Number 1.
I swear to God, there is okay, you were in the intro, you're like, oh, how'd you like talk about is coming to Estonia and stuff? And I have to say that is the number 1 fucking question I get from people.
Yeah, but TikTok. I want more than... See, when people ask you that question, what they want is a very condensed explanation. What they're looking for is, I need the one-line explanation that can set you in a place in my head. It's not actually like, Caleb Brunick, please tell me all about the different parts and the things that motivated you.
Yeah.
It's just, why do you come to Estonia? Oh, woman! Yes. Woman, correct answer, moving right along.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about where you come from or anything. Like they just want to know, like, oh, you came because there's something better here. I'm like, you had affordable college. Like that was like 95% of my decision was affordable college. I wasn't gonna go to debt to. And then, but also everyone, like, I do TikTok lives as well because I'm a superstar, D-class celebrity, and there's I think in the course of like 2 hours, I'll have maybe like anywhere between 400 to like 1,000 people roll through it. I mean, congruent is maybe 11 to 21, but I'm getting minimum like 300 accounts will fall through my live. And when anyone is like pops in, they ask like, oh, where are you from? And I immediately say, oh, it's in my bio. And my bio is my Comedy Estonia bio link. And then it just says Eslana Midavito. Because I do not give a shit. And I just want to confuse people. Because if logically speaking, if you don't know you're going to ask a question, then you're going to engage more with my content. And then more people are going to see me. So, trying to play the system.
Oh my God, the TikTok live. Jesus, we're going to get to this. Look, all I could say is... I talked to Dave Benton, and there are still people that ask Dave Benton what he's doing here. So it will never happen. You'll never get to everyone. I thought there could be a time, maybe if I get on the cover of I don't know, fucking Clio or Cosmo or whatever the fuck, Nice to Let or whatever the hell. If I'm in there enough people will know the story. And then, not that it's like some amazing story to tell either, and then I'll never have to say it again. And then I found out Dave still has to say it. I'm like, okay, there's no chance. There's none.
If Dave Benton, any question that Dave Benton still gets, we're all going to get. And it's just, it comes with the territory of being a foreigner here. And,
Dave Benton's the patron. He's the patron saint of foreigners in Estonia. Foreigners trying to be entertainers in Estonia. He's our patron saint. He's the man who's done it. You'll never win them the Eurovision, Caleb. You can be on the TikTok, great. Look at what you're doing. You're talking about this part. You said some words in Estonian on a live. Oh, congratulations, but you'll never win them Eurovision.
What I love about TikTok, though, in regards to like just saying the stuff in Estonian, What pisses me off is I know that there's a couple of comedians who are on it as well, and Rugger is on it, and so he occasionally will scroll by and he'll send me videos from time to time. And there's this one guy who's obviously foreign, but he speaks Estonian, just like out of baiting it in, like I'm here, I'm going to speak Estonian, I'm going to get this audience, and his videos do very well. But to me, it's just like the most hack shit in the world. That being said, I do the most hack shit in the world on my own TikTok. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but like I have respect for how hack I am. This is like next level. I'm just like fucking saying it to say it. Like,
Oh, if he does hack, it's bullshit. But if you do it, you're self-conscious to your hack.
yeah.
So therefore, it's okay.
I'm obsessively self-conscious about how hack I am. Like right now, I'm doing this. I'm running this series kind of thing about like making shitty slogans for different cities around Tartu. Around Estonia. So like I just said randomly, Võru, come for the weed, stay for the cousin fucking. Tartu, big town depression, small town vibes. Then Rauno gave me one for Pärnu, which was come for the beaches, stay for the bitches. And then Narva, Narva, proof Russians have no pullout game. So like I know it's hack, I know, but I'm just trying to be clever about being a hack. It's just. I know how fucking like back-assed that sounds, by the way.
Maybe. All right.
Yeah.
All right. There's clearly a depth of topic there getting on. So, okay. So you, how long have you been living in Estonia for right now?
I moved here August 1st, 2017.
2017.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll hit 4 years August 1st this
And
year.
how old were you when you arrived?
I was 18 when I moved here, and I turned 19 2 months later when I moved here. So, yeah, I came here baby.
You were 18 and 10 months.
Yeah, no, it was I was fucking young as shit, and it was weird too because like everybody who I went to school with was easily 2 years older than me, and I was used to being the oldest in schools, and that's just because I'm retarded and had to repeat a grade. But you know, moving here when you're 18 is a very fucking weird decision.
Sure. Now, and we don't need to go too far into the details of that, but you do have a partner here.
Yeah, I do. And that's like the biggest thing is I don't tell people that because I hate the fact I make the jokes about the foreigner trap, like, oh, you met a girl, ha ha. But it's like, I wouldn't say that my girl was 100% part of my decision. She was part of that decision. Like there was obviously the thought there, but I found out of Estonia because of her. And then we had started dating 2015. So I came to Estonia my first time in 2015 twice, and then I came here for 2 summers to spend time with her and her family, and we did long distance for 2 years and stuff. And then I was looking down the barrel of 4 years in the States and possibly going into a ton of debt, or I had a really good setup in Estonia where I had affordable housing, affordable education, and I was like, I'm a full adult essentially. I didn't have to wait to those 21 to legally drink. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to come to Estonia. What's the worst that could happen?
Affordable housing. Parents pay for it.
I know.
Welcome to Estonia. Affordable housing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, you know, that's my EBS marketing. There's always an appropriate way to phrase phrase what you're saying. And I say affordable education. I still don't pay my education either. So it's like I'm not in debt or anything. So I made the smooth move.
Sure. Okay. So you've got the girlfriend, and so sort of the girlfriend is sort of part of it.
Yeah.
But I understand that I have certainly made, I don't know if you want to say mistakes in my life of moving places where I thought that I was going somewhere, and basically it was just like there was, a woman there. And then I didn't like the place very much, or then I only understood later that this wasn't a place for me. I lived in Sweden for like 2 years, and it just was not a place for me. I've still got PTSD from the experience, man. You fucking IKEA. I have a hard enough time going to IKEA these days. Okay, it's
you got meatballed out.
I didn't fit. Yeah, too many meatballs, too much mycket bra svenska. I couldn't take it. So yeah, that you found. That you came here and you're able to find your own life. And I think that's important, that you're able to find your own place.
Yeah. So what a lot of people don't get about me, or I don't tell people, is that, my dad's a diplomat, and before that he was a Marine. So he's a retired Marine. I learned that I made a mistake in a TikTok, and I got a lot of shit for that.
What did you say? He was a current Marine?
I said he was an ex-Marine. No, because ex refers to a dishonorable discharge. He was honorably discharged.
Okay.
So half my comments in one TikTok is just like, he's going to kill you for saying that. My dad saw the video, didn't give a shit. But anyways, you know, I grew up overseas my entire life. So I grew up in Japan, in Okinawa. We had a tour in Kenya for 2 years. We did 2 years in Germany, 3 in Turkey, and the rest of the time was kind of filtered throughout parts of the United States. And so, honestly, by the time I was graduating in 2017 from high school, in that year, my senior year, we actually got evacuated from Turkey on Halloween 2016 due to a terrorist threat. The U.S. had enough intel that was saying, oh, okay, there's a viable threat against non-essential personnel at the embassy, specifically families, because all the Americans kind of live in a singular community throughout the world at these embassies. So they evacuated all the non-essential personnel, and me and my dad and my sister got sent back to Washington, D.C. For 6 months. And to me, that was such a culture shock of going to an American high school. Like, I went from being in a graduating class of 36 international kids who had only ever gone to international school to being in a graduating class of 1,000 kids who had never gone to anywhere outside of school but Arlington, Virginia. And I was like, wow, do not like this at all.
What would you say is a common personality trait or traits of the international kid who's grown up in international schools?
Like, I can say something outlandish, you won't get offended by it, and you'll correct me about why I'm wrong. In the terms of actually using data, using a finite point. I remember we would have discussions, because we were in Turkey, right on the border with Syria, and we had ISIS threats in Turkey. We had shootings in Istanbul. I remember there was one time we had a bombing in the middle of the day happen near, like, I think it was Taksim Square, and 4 German tourists got blown up by a jihadist. And I'm just sitting in study hall, and my teacher says it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. What was the homework again? And it caught me 20 seconds later, like, what the fuck did I just say? Like, people have died, I don't give a shit. Of course, that doesn't faze you as much, but more important, like, you can say that, and you can really justify and ask why these questions. Why is this happening? What are the solutions we can look at? We can really analyze it. Now, I went ahead and made a claim saying, back in the States, I think that Twitter for Syrian refugees and Syrians is one of the most powerful tools that they can utilize to explain to the world what they're experiencing in Damascus, in these refugee camps, because that's firsthand experience. And then I had kids who were my peers who were saying, I don't know if we should trust Twitter because it's a social media account, and not to mention they're not verified. And then they also were saying, how do we really take up an opinion from this firsthand data when someone else hasn't reviewed it? It's not reviewed. I said, you're going to wait 10 years for someone to review this history? Review what's literally happening right now, 2 people on the other side of the world, and you're just going to fucking blow it off? Like, you actually have the ability to make change in the world if you really want to, but you don't. And then you're going to go back, and then they would immediately flip back to talking about whatever was relevant to them, regards to their cars, sports, or something.
Well, they're going to do it, of course, because that's all is what around them. You got a friggin' bomb being blown up 5 streets away.
Yeah.
That's what's relevant to you. But, I mean, the way you also put it there, like, it's not that opinion that person expressed in your high school, not completely off. So first of all, if you try to break it down, so they're immediately skeptical of anything on Twitter. Like, not a bad thing for an American to be.
No.
I would say, first of all.
This was also prior to Trump as well. So I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's not the same state of Twitter as now. Yeah. And I was more concerned about this, is that it wasn't just like a standard. These are the kind of conversations I'd have at lunch in Turkey with my friends. Yeah. Like, we'd go from porn to geopolitics. Sure. But then we were in a class called Theory of Knowledge in the IB program, where you're specifically asked to make questions, to give answers, to readily analyze concepts and thoughts. This is the attempt of the class, and you're trying to give it all you got, but you are going to say, you're afraid to, like, make the claim. You're afraid to make the point. And that's the thing, is I just think that in the international community, you're always the new kid. You're always, you're always by yourself, kind of, so that when you do have the opportunity to speak and you have the opportunity to connect with people, you're less fearful of failure. And that's the thing. There's less fear of failing, so you actually can make something more in a shorter time, if that makes sense.
Sure. Okay. So, yeah, you're out there, you're experiencing with these people, and, you have a more nuanced view of the world. It kind of makes sense, right? Like, I mean, at least those high school kids are skeptical of Twitter. And I mean, the idea of, like, I agree with you in that yes, this is a direct way that people around the world that we can learn about their experiences. That's legitimate.
Yeah.
But kind of so is like, well, if I see this account pop up, how do I, like, it's a good point. How do I actually know? Now, if there's some media going on, some links to that, hey, here are some accounts you need to look at, and that's sort of, I also wouldn't know, like, okay, is this some Syrian bloke or what?
And I wholeheartedly understand the point of it being, you don't know. I'm not saying, let me maybe backtrack a little bit. From a singular Twitter post, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe that's inappropriate to make claims and opinions based upon. But if there is massive amounts of tweets, there's massive amount of videos, photographic evidence coming out about a certain situation.
Sure.
And you can kind of piece together.
Right.
If the New York Times can go ahead and piece together the riots of the Capitol building on January 6th from various cell phone videos that were then posted to Twitter, if they can do that, we can figure out Syria in the same kind of situation. And this is where my point is, like, we inherently in the West, we don't care. Like, that's the end of the day. We just don't care. And we only care when it happens to us. And that was kind of my thing as well. It's just like, you only care unless it's happening to you. And most people, I feel like, don't want to fucking make change, or they don't want to work, or
I think that's a human thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's unfortunately, going through history, that's the human thing. Unless it's right in front of us, yeah, guess what? Unless it's affecting us, and these days it's easier to be caught out on social media or online. Like, you said this once, and now you're doing different because it happened to you. And I'm like, yeah, maybe you're a piece of shit. Maybe you're a human who's learning. Anyway.
I mean, that's... it is human nature, but it's also like some human nature you can kind of avoid. If you know that there's a specific mindset that a place has, and you kind of want to avoid that you can move somewhere else. And that's kind of the reason, if I go full circle, like why I ended up here is that I knew I was coming to Eastern Europe, but it's branded as Northern Europe. So, oh my God, you Estonians will fucking brand the shit out of it. We're Nordic. And it's just like, fucking you're Baltic. Be proud. I don't know.
No one wants to be Baltic, though. That's the thing. See, that's why I didn't call this comedy Baltics.
Yeah.
I had the original idea that in Latvia and Lithuania, I was like, oh, I won't bother to use two separate brands. I'll just use Comedy Baltics and it'll work. But, Estonia's established, so I'll leave Comedy Estonia. And then even after a while, like, those poor fucks down in Latvia, they will accept the word Baltic.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't have to. No, don't accept Baltic, my dear Latvian friends. All right, you've been oppressed, that your national airline is called Air Baltic. Think about how much that you guys have been goddamn gaslighted. Do you think Estonia would put up with with Air Baltic being the national carrier, the pride of the country? No fucking way would we put up with that. But the Latvians do. So I'm like on a course, like, don't accept Baltic. What do you mean Baltic? What does that even fucking...
Well,
like, we're supposed to identify at it? No.
Well, the thing is that, I feel the same, like, so in America, you know the term New England, right? Mm-hmm. It refers to the original colonies that were English colonies. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm from New York. I'm not a New Englander because New York is not a colony that was of English descent. It's a Dutch colony. And so for me, when I think about our history, it's just, I'm not in New England. I can't call myself that in the same way. Because also I was applying to schools in the States. I couldn't get I couldn't get scholarships and I couldn't get financial help because I wasn't a New Englander, because my parents didn't live in New England. So that being said, when I come here, it's like, you're Baltic. Just own it. Own it. Why are you fucking calling yourself Nordic and then rebranding to try to rip off Sweden? Who the fuck wants to be Sweden?
Well, that's okay. That is something I can get behind. Who the hell wants to be Sweden?
Yeah, exactly.
But why do you need to say, like, who needs, like, we're in the Baltics? Who the fuck wants to be Baltic?
I mean, I'm not saying it's a pretty word. I'm just saying
great brands?
you are.
We've already discussed Air Baltic.
Yeah.
What other great brands have Baltic in them?
Bolt has a B in it. So
Bolt has a B in it.
No, I'm not saying it's a good. I'm not saying it's a good argument.
This episode has degenerated to Sesame Street.
I'm not saying I have a valid point or anything. I'm just saying I have a point.
What about that? There's that company that makes, like, crisps and snacks and chips in a packet and stuff like that.
Phaser?
They make chocolate. Fazer.
Yeah.
Fazer. But no, there's a company called Ball Snack.
Ball Snack.
BALSNACK. Ball Snack. And it's Baltic snack. But you can go to the supermarket right now.
Yeah.
And see chips and they say Ball Snack. Ball Snack. And I know they're trying to rebrand, but they're like super slow. I feel like I've met the dude who owned it once or twice. And he kind of knows, but I think he's in a huge amount of denial. And he's like, no, ball snack is good name.
But like you think about it though, if it sounds bad, but if he really leaned into it, like, no, we're Ball Snack.
Ball snack, bitches.
Ball Snack. You know, salty, nutted chips. You know, like I think that's my thing is that you either can like shy away from something or you can lean heavily into it. Don't play this game where you're like down the middle. Just fucking rail into it and just ride that bitch all the way into the station and see what happens.
Ball snack. Because I don't know what other... Is there something that's so obvious, like something that's using Baltic that's in front of our eyes that we can't see? Because I can't think of what else is Baltic. This is my point. No one wants to...
No one wants to use it because it's ball.
Latvia has lat. Use lat. Lat's great. LAT. Can be used for so many things, right?
Yeah.
Est. Oh, fin est, everything. Established. Oh my God. Estonia. Cool. Very, very nice. Lat. Look, I'm not the marketing genius. There's got to be lots of things that lat could be used for. I don't want to see something with ball.
No.
This is the problem. You can't... BAL as the first three letters of the thing is not something I want to get behind.
Oh, I just thought of like a really cool shirt you could have done. You could do a Surmunamagi shirt that says Tal Est. So it's Tallinn and like / Estonia. So you could be like a mountain, right? But under it would be Tal Est. So it would be like tallest mountain, capital Estonia. It's stupid thought, but I'm going to fucking make that a t-shirt.
It sounds like something the hundreds of people on TikTok might want to hear.
You have no idea. I'm really thinking about like selling t-shirts at this point. Like this fucking slogan idea shit. It could be like 6 people who are like feeding my dreams of making these t-shirts, but it's enough for me. Just like to sell 3 would be awesome.
Just to sell 3. Well, we have the facility to make t-shirts and sell t-shirts.
Yeah, I know. I just know that stickers are way cheaper and way more affordable.
Start with some stickers.
Yeah, that's the plan. This the plan is stickers. And give out like 95% of the inventory for free.
Sure, that's fine. Well, you're paying, but
no.
Hella can help you with stickers, and if you want to, look, we're all going to laugh at you, but if you want to validate the TikTok-y, I don't even know what we're calling it at this stage, merch angle, then yeah, I mean, we can find something to you. Make stickers, sure.
Well, I spoke with Hella, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we can get like 1,000 for like $70 or something."
The stickers,
like
yeah.
And I was like,
are easy.
I don't know if I need 1,000 stickers, but I guess if that's what $50 gets me, I'll get it.
Yeah, I've got 1,000 Comedy Guy stickers. Ain't no 1,000 Comedy Guy stickers being stuck around there, but you know.
But that's mainly my point. Is it's just like I wouldn't mind spending the money and see what happens because you never know. Like, who would have thought that the muhu, the fucking sweaters that have the Estonian cities on them, like who knew that was gonna blow up so big?
Well, the stickers are better if you have a way to distribute them.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit like with. Like if you're doing a show, then maybe you could be standing out, especially at our other shows with the merch. Then it's easier to leave that. I know that one of all of our stickers is put into if you buy something from Comedy Estonia, then I think they're just chucking in some of the stickers. So there's some of that, but it's sort of like, how do you get all of those stickers out there?
Yeah, and the main problem too is that like my logic with this whole fucking slogan sticker stuff is it's one sticker per city and it's one slogan. And the main thing I see is people want to hear their city be shit on. It sounds terrible, but I'm being fucking rude. I'm being like, I'm trying to be fucking cruel with these lines. I'm trying to be hurtful essentially. And people are like, oh no, can you do Hopsalu next? I would love to hear Hopsalu. Please, Idu Virma. People are like, or Rapla, they're like, have you heard of Yokvi? I would love to hear Yokvi. And it's just like, I mean, I don't really know what to say, but I'll figure something out.
Sure.
But then you think about, okay, if I have 15 slogans, well, not everyone's going to need 15 slogan stickers. They're going to need their singular town. So then it's going to, it'd be ridiculous to fucking sell over the internet. So I would love to be doing it with like a tour where if we're doing a tour, just give out that sticker. That's that city, and that'd be kind of cool.
Right? Yeah, one sticker per city is not going to logistically work. So I guess you're going to have to find one thing.
Yeah.
That it is more like, I don't know, Caleb's cool or some shit. I don't know. And it's the Caleb's cool thing. And then, because what do we...
It's more effort than it's worth. It's cool. I like the idea. But it's just logistically it's just too much. But if we were going on tour and, say we took Invasion to the point where we were doing a couple city tour or something, I would love at the end to be able to give out those stickers and be able to give them okay, this is Tartu, here's the Tartu sticker. Here's Talon, here's the Talon sticker. I think that's so cool because then they can take it and they can keep me. And not to mention it's really good branding. Just be like the foreigner who insulted me. That's the branding.
I mean, or you can, it's just maybe there's less, but it's about, let's say $50. So, I mean, if you got the $50 per city, sure, we can get the stickers made. That's not,
Yeah, and then I just think of, I want to test small. I just probably gonna do Talons first.
How to distribute, right? How to get it out.
That's the main thing.
I mean, already this is blowing my mind. You some fucking numbnuts, and now we've got some live streams going on TikTok, and it's already to the stage where, there's hundreds of people watching, and people are asking for merch and that sort of thing.
When I say hundreds of people, I mean at the end I can view the analytics, seeing how many people came through, but congruently, I would say that I'm getting 10 to 15, maybe 20 people at peak. But then I have
concurrent,
yeah. But then these people are hanging around for 2 hours. It's not like, oh, I'm popping in. It's 2.5 hours of me just talking random bullshit, and then that happening, and then it's so weird too, to have people want to talk to you and interact with you in that regards. Because I'm very used to the stage being the fact that I have the microphone, the audience is staying quiet. If you interact with me unasked, then I can interact with you, and I can be this kind of guy. I can be more aggressive, or I can be nice, or I can be mean. And it's my decision to make that, because you're opting to be there, and I can see your face. I can see when I'm being too mean. Now I have fucking 14-year-olds, and I have 25-year-olds. And I don't know what they look like. I don't know what their facial apprehension, I don't know I can't get any clues from them.
Right.
So I can't just be this asshole being you're a cunt. I can't do that. Now,
and thanks to that fucking football coach, we can't even ask to see the faces of 14-year-olds anymore. Whatever. God, society's gone downhill. Sorry for interrupting you.
No, it's fine. And then there's a bunch of... Here's the weirdest thing, too, is there's a bunch of fucking 14 to 15-year-olds are the biggest pains in my asses because they'll hop in my live and then right after one message will be do you support Black Lives Matter? Do you support Black Lives Matter? Do you support Black Lives Matter? And I'm like, well, what do you mean support? And they're do you support it? Do you want to defund the police? And I'm like, well, do you want to have this conversation? Are you going to tune in for 15 minutes to hear me rant? And they're not. So then I just ignore the question, and it just pisses me off. I have an opinion I'd like to state, but they don't want to fucking listen to it. They just want it in TikTok has ruined this generation,
Ruined. This is the whole platform that you're using to access these people, but it's ruined them. But it's the thing that's allowed me to, there was this one, there's one afternoon and I was watching Carl's stream.
Yeah.
And for some reason on this day, Carl had about 30 viewers on Twitch, and then he ends the stream, and then he's like, hey, because what you can do at the end of the stream is redirect all your viewers to someone else's stream.
Yeah.
And so Carl's like, hey, I'm redirecting now. And he redirected to this little English chick, some little UK chick who was totally politically correct. Guys, we're all here to have a nice time, okay? Please don't talk about those things and just be nice to one another. We're all trying to love and hope, and just, I don't know why. Someone plays Civ 5, and so 30 little 13-year-old Estonian savages who don't even fucking speak English, get dropped into the chat of this hypersensitive little UK streamer chickie, and it's just mira Vito, and then they're just like swearing their heads off in Estonian. The little chick's starting to freak out. She's like, but if you're coming here, please speak English. I got to know that we're all inclusive. She can't handle it. These little savages are going nuts. She's like, but where did they come from? And there's Carl like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about this. And there's Carl just apologizing. I'm sorry about these guys. And then like Carl going in Estonian, Carl, please settle down. Don't do this. And then like she's having to go at Carl, why are you speaking in another language? And it was tremendous. So what I've understood is that 13-year-old little kids don't,
you have to like fucking, you just let them be. Now, see, I in mine live, I normally don't have like a super active chat. I have to wait like 30 minutes before I get like, once I get like 12, 15 people in it, then it becomes more active and there's a little bit of conversation. There's always some fucking Finnish troll who's going to speak Finnish strictly. There's some people in Estonian who will just say fucked up shit in Estonian there. And I'll be on Google Translate live translating it. And whatever they fucking say, I'll be like, oh, this is what you mean? And I'll just fuck with them. And I'll just be like, you're fucking an idiot. What do you expect me to do? Or what's really funny is a lot of people will put their name and or put their Instagram like a link in their bio. So I'll be on live and I'll be like, oh, I have nothing to talk about. Let me go through your Instagram account and let me just tear you apart and just roast 12-year-olds being like, really? You look like a fucking cunt in this picture or some shit like that. Because I don't give a shit. And I'm an asshole. And also I think it just comes with the territory. And not to mention, I also have a decent amount of people who will be in the chats being like, "Oh, this is what they mean," or they'll actually, or like people ask me questions that I've already answered, and people will answer for me in Estonian as well.
That's something. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's I don't want to say it's a parasocial relationship, but it's like a very weird friendship where you're like, I only know you from a microscopic size profile picture and some interactions we've had during live, but also, it's really cool too that you get to grow this thing, and it's just
I suspect that when we look back at this time period, that there's different, like you look back at each time period in history and look at what is the predominant art form. Like, I don't know, I guess in the old days there was some Renaissance painters and it was Leonardo da Vinci and like everyone was painting and that was the painting thing. And now I kind of think we're going to look back at this time and be like, this is the time when we all just started to entertain each other.
Yeah.
Now it used to be for years and years, there were a few people who were entertaining us on major channels or whatever, mainstream.
Yeah.
And now you can just switch on whoever and be where, I don't know who I'm entertaining, people all around the world. And that I think is like, at first, yes, you can go, yeah, this TikTok is bullshit, this Twitch is bullshit, or whatever. All these things are, what the hell is this? Just chatting.
Yeah.
There's some chick showing her boobs on Twitch. There's some guy dressed up as a clown. But I think we're going to kind of look back and go like, oh, we were entertaining each other there. This is where we started to get involved in each other's stuff.
Yeah. I think like with TikTok, it's such a new platform and it's a new medium. It's still video. It's still audio, but it's done in a different way. And if you look at YouTube back in like 2009 to 2011, when YouTube was really YouTube, where there were a couple of people who were really popping off at 1 million subs, and the advertising revenue was still coming in, but then you had companies posting full shit to their YouTubes. It was a really nice place to be. It could be toxic as fuck, but also the people being like, oh no, this is so wrong. Like, this is stupid. You're wasting your time on this. Well, the platform just hasn't been proven. I think the same thing with TikTok. And it's just, the medium now is, it's no longer, what am I saying? What am I vlogging? What am I doing? But it's like, I have this thought. Now I'm going to show you like the most basic ass video possible. Like girl, if you're a dude, you need a girl, you just put a towel on your head. That's it. And everyone knows that's what that means. And then you're like, well, I have this funny line I want to say, which is the punchline of the joke. Well, I don't want to say it, but they say it in this movie. So they'll be like Samuel L. Jackson's, what is his like, motherfucker line. Like whatever that motherfucker line could have been, pulled that, stripped that audio. Now it's overlaying the initial one. You need the setup. Bam, you're just putting in the text on the screen. You throw in a crappy filter, and then boom, it's an entirely new joke in its own right. And you're right. It is entertaining each other. It allows so many people to become something, I guess, of themselves in their own regards to connect with people. But then also, I look at it the same way I look at YouTube. It just hasn't been validated at a point where because it's so new and it blew up so fast and it's Chinese origin.
Sure. I mean, it's almost like when you say that hasn't been monetized yet.
Yeah.
That we haven't quite worked out how to monetize that. Now, that's a little bit different for you because what you've got is a geographically close audience.
Yeah.
Which is a different way to approach this. It's this TikTok kind of thing now becomes more one element of what you're doing rather than if you were just a TikToker in some other place doing that, then it's sort of more difficult to leverage that off. Now, I mean, it might be limiting for you. On the other hand, it's going to be limiting because, okay, I'm the kid over the border in Valka in Latvia. Why do I care about this idiot in Tallinn, right?
Yeah.
He's talking about Estonian shit. But for that specific, very small audience, they're really into it.
And that's, I think, I like to look at it as this way, is that if you're doing something long enough, you're going to pop in your own right. Like there's going to be a moment you're like, okay, it's happened. I can do this thing. I think like every open micer, there comes a certain time where you've done open mics long enough. You're like, I feel okay calling myself a comedian. Like I feel good. Like I do this. And that's the same thing I look at as this, is that when you're working on your craft, whatever that may be, every time you exercise in that craft, you're blowing one breath into a balloon. So that balloon goes up, it pops. Now, when you pop, you just have to make sure you have enough content or you have enough of whatever you're doing to feed your audience, whether that's a business where you're able to produce your product, you're able to do your services at scale to maintain. If you're a comedian, well, that's having enough online content for your audience and your fans to be able to produce. Now, in my situation, being a comedian strictly in Estonia right now, well, it makes no sense for me to produce a lot of international content that I cannot benefit from immediately, but I can benefit immediately from really working the Estonian market to the fucking max in every way possible. That being said, I still only think that I'm maybe like 25% possibility, because there is like it's the downside of being a foreigner, is that you have to work 10 times harder than an Estonian 12-year-old just to get your fucking point across. That may be, we opt into that as being foreigners living here, but I fucking love a challenge, and it's if you can do it, you can fucking do it, you know?
Yeah, okay, that up and that benefit. There's benefits and downsides. And in one way, as a foreigner, you're going to get attention. If you do something on the other way, like it's easier in Estonian language. I understand why when we're doing things as foreigners, they don't pop in the same way, right? It's not that, and that's okay. That's natural.
Yeah, and I think it's, when I think of like popping as a foreigner versus like popping as an Estonian, I just think that it's you're playing a different game essentially. Like one, if you're Estonian and you've popped, you're like, okay, now I'm doing this. I have this. Like it's easier to interact with these people, but it's much more difficult to maintain that recognition and stuff, because you could easily just fall by the wayside. But if you're a foreigner, you now have the ability to sort of you can like set yourself apart from the pack, being like, I'm special in this own regard, but then you have to work 10 times harder to maintain that. If you've set a standard for yourself and your audience understands that standard, well, then you need to maintain that. And if you slip up, they'll be like, oh, foreigner. It's too easy to fall into, be like, oh, it's just this guy. It's just, he's different. That's why he's whatever. At least, that may be also in my own head, but.
No, it will be. There will be more memory of it, I think. So there's sort of, there is, okay. So in the shorter term, it's a little bit harder. Okay, in the very short term, you can get attention and get ahead. In the medium term, it's a little bit harder. This is the 10 times hard, that sort of long bit in the middle. But actually then the long game, I think you do end up standing out over the long term if you can keep it up, if you can remain relevant, if you can do that, then there's, you know, like, okay, I'm going to be the fucking pilot forever. And I'm fine with that. Like, it's cool, right? You got to keep doing things.
Yeah.
You got to keep having something new, being relevant, and that's difficult in any creative job. But at least there's always kind of that thing. Now, maybe if someone else had done a video or something, I don't know. If they're Estonian, maybe they would still be remembered. But there will be those things that you do. And one thing we do know is that if you are appealing to young people on TikTok, well, okay, there's young people will grow up eventually. And so it's a lot. That is part of the long-term plan. But if that's your first audience, cool.
I'm more than happy with it because I'm over the moon just that I have people who are engaging with my content and they like it. Because for me, it's just, especially with Corona, not being able to go on stage right now and having to be at home, I miss it. Like, it irks me the fact that I can't get on stage and just say some stupid shit and like get a reaction, whether that's good or bad. Because if I bomb, I'll go off stage and I'll just feel disgusting with myself. Like, as much as it feels disgusting and gross, my skin does after I come off and bomb, I still love it because I know at least I tried and the material didn't work. Let me fix it. But now I have an outlet to do it. And of course, they're young, and I'm also really young in my career. So as I advance, these people are going to grow up with me. And the longer I can show the development, and I think this comes with anybody who's doing it, as you show that development over time, people will stick with you. You get better, more people come with you, and you can grow that pool. And then it's all about just maintaining and growing and just really keeping that locked in. And, playing it, I don't want to say play it safe, but play it fair, because there's doing it the right way, and then there's doing it the cheap way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess I do understand what you mean, that it's easier. It certainly is one part of this small market that we're in, that it is easy to cause a big fuss about something or other, be prominent for a while with that one thing that you caused the fuss about. But if there isn't the body of work behind that, then it's extremely easy to fall away. And we see that all the time. Someone does something, they're in the media, they're on the talk show, they get pumped through the cycle, and without a body of work underneath it, or just an ability to be completely shameless and terrible, then if you got that, then maybe you can keep on going. But yeah, I think that I kind of emphasize that to all of our comedians. Like, you got to have a body of work behind you. Like, before you can't always control when you pop, I agree, but you can do the best that you can before that, so when it actually comes, you've got real skills to help you out.
And I think that's the good point, though, too, to bring up with like young guys. And I first want to say I'm not old in any returns. My career Estonia is like such a weird place to do stand up and be able to grow, because I think here's the only place you can go from like fucking the greenest of greenhorns to like doing shit within, I don't know. How long has Tombit been doing stand up? Like no more than a year and a half. And he's already getting spots on tours, and he's already, he did Quality Control and stuff. And I think if he really wanted to put on his own show with 2 or 3 other guys like we did with Invasion, he could do that. I don't think that those kind of same opportunities with the kind of Comedy Estonia backing would happen anywhere else in the world. And I could be completely wrong, but it's just easy to fall into this mindset that, I'm this hot piece of ass. I'm fresh forever. It's like, no, you have to really build it. And I think that's the one thing I'm the most thankful for TikTok is one video, right, which is now sitting at around 11.2 million views, over 2.2 million likes. And the day I passed 1 million likes or 1 million views in, I think, 13 hours. Started from 0, 13 hours later, 1 million. I still had to go to the store and get milk. Nothing in my life changed. This amount of followers and viewership didn't change my life at fucking all. It has changed how I perceive the way I'm going to do what I want to do, but it doesn't change you in any ways. And then the one thing it just reinforces, oh shit, now I have this massive amount of people who know who I am. They're seeing my content. I got really anxious, and I'm like, how the fuck do you manage this? Because the next video I put out does 10,000 views. It's there's such a drastic change that, either you start off doing something, you pop really early or unprepared, and then you hold on for dear life trying to figure out what the fuck you're going to do, or you just build this really slow, long burn that you're like, oh, this is just what I do and shit. And
I think the numbers on, first of all, TikTok scares me, and I'm afraid of it for all kinds of I'm afraid of it because it's not cool as a foreign guy now to be looking at 14-year-olds. Okay? The coach took everything away. We're not allowed to do that anymore. I'm 41 and I'm supposed to be I'm TikTok.
You're 41. It shouldn't be 41-14 should not be.
Right. Apparently that's what I've heard now. The new law is going to say I can't do it. But I'm supposed to be looking at little chicks doing dances and jumping up and down with their bikini on or something. And I'm like, yeah, I want to look, but should I be looking?
When I go through a take a shit or I'm just sitting on my phone and I'm scrolling TikTok, if I see an account that I just pass through, I'm like, why the fuck are you showing this to me? Like, this is inappropriate. And I'd be like, if I'm uncomfortable with it, if I'm uncomfortable or it looks like they're too young and they're way too comfortable with it or whatever reason that just this doesn't look right, I immediately report the account. Like like there are accounts where fucking 12-year-olds. I saw this one girl today. Her account was like R67 or whatever, but all I remember really was like the final word was cum, C-U-M. And then she's like, 12 years old. I need a boyfriend. I'm like, nope, you need fucking Roblox. Like, calm the fuck down. Or there's like this new trend where like chicks are like, look at me, I'm so sexy. I was born in 2004. I'm like, that's my sister's age. She's 16. Report your fucking account. Like, you don't need to be showing these pictures and shit. I talk shit on the internet and I do that for fun. Why are you showing pictures like this? Like, this is inappropriate. And it's not like Instagram where there's no real likelihood your Instagram account's going to blow up overnight to 500,000 people, but your TikTok may just for no fucking reason.
Let's go through that because this is what's so I don't use. We've established now that I don't use TikTok, and somehow, even though I want to, you're like pictures of cute little chicks, but I'm like, nah, I don't know why. You think I would, but I'm not. But then the numbers get confusing because. Yeah. Okay, if you're a rational adult, you sort of know what's normal on Facebook. Maybe you watch YouTube a lot. You go, oh, that's interesting. Wow, that video's got 500,000 views. That's quite a lot. Wow, that's very interesting. That must be an established creator. And you look at YouTube and you go like, oh, video's got so many hundreds of thousands of views. Yeah. And then you look at the subscriber count and you go like, oh, okay, you got 50,000 subscribers. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I see where you're at. Insta, okay, but then I hear about TikTok and it's like, you've got fucking millions. Wait, there's not that many people in the country. Like, but it just, how does it work? These numbers seem huge on TikTok.
So basically, if I just pop open my TikTok real quick, I give you my latest stuff. Basically for the last 60 days, let me see. I've had 13.3 million views on my account, and roughly 11.2 of that came from one video, and the other million were coming from other videos. But basically how it works is, imagine like a title pool or, it's basically, how do I explain it? It's like testing pools, Like if you started an account with 0 everything, right? And you put the right hashtags, which I always put like SD, Estonia, talent. If I'm making an Estonian post, I get the Estonian tags because I know it's going to pop up. If it's not, I leave it alone. I try to send it to America. But basically it's your video sent out to say like 10 people. And if that video is viewed long enough that it considers it a view, because my stuff will tell me exactly how long my videos have been viewed for. And that's for every account. It'll throw it out to 10 people. If it gets good engagement, so views, if it gets likes and it gets comments, the more that happens, the more people it will be sent out to. And because of the way the algorithm works is it's only going to show you content that you like. So essentially from the back end on an account, it's building up what kind of people are interacting with that content. So that content can then be further thrown out to more people. But also, will these people like it so they can show it to you? Because then,
all social medias have some form of this algorithmic thing built in, but it seems to just be hyper
on a scale that's unprecedented.
Right, this hyper version of it.
Yeah, I mean, like let's take Instagram for example. You hop on the main screen of Instagram, you're just scrolling, you're following. Your default in that mode. So a lot of times you're going to hop it. You're just going to follow you're going. Now on TikTok, there's 2. So you have like your discovery page or your FYP, your For You page. That's your default one you're opening into. If you're not in your following, you're going to go default to that one. And then that is just accounts you don't follow, or that is accounts maybe you follow if you're engaging with that content enough. If I post, I'm then thrown into my following, but then I always end up going back to my For You after I've watched enough that I'll go back to it. So you're constantly getting new content and just new stuff all the time. And the same thing works that it'll work double, that you may see it on your following or your For You page, both. So it's just going to be sent out both ways. And I honestly think that to the most part, it is an engagement rating. Like how much is that content being engaged with? will determine how many people will see the content, see that individual piece of content. However, though, I don't always agree with it because I have the one video that went massively viral. That math doesn't add up to me because I know the timeline of the day. I posted it at like 8 in the morning. I got in my car. I drove to Uri Circle. I was driving. I should not have checked my phone. I pull it out. My account's at maybe, I want to say like 1,600 at the time, maybe 1,500.
1,500 what?
1,500 followers.
Okay.
Right. So at the time, I had a video go viral in Estonia. Before that, it did 40,000 in like 2 days. So 90 in 30 minutes, 90 views in 30 minutes was ridiculous for me.
90,000 views.
No, just
Sorry.
90 views. And 90 views total in 30 minutes was like crazy for me. I was like, oh shit, this is going to pop off. I'm going to get a couple. I might hit 100,000 today. Maybe if I'm lucky. And I put my phone in my pocket. I get off to work. I'm quitting my job this day too, which is really not for the story, but I get to work and I'm like wrapping stuff up with my boss. I pull out my phone and I'm like, oh shit, 350. Just views. I'm like, this is fucking great. I'm doing really well. Like maybe this is a good joke. People like it. Put it in my pocket. Me and my boss end up having lunch. We were talking for a couple hours. We had lunch. Pull my phone out, check it. 15,000 views in the span of 2.5 hours.
From 350 to 15,000.
Yeah, in the span of like 2 hours. And I was like, this doesn't fucking make sense. By the time that I eventually got home 2 hours later, I was nearing like 150, 170,000 views. And then I would check it every so often, and I think it took like 13 hours in total for it to get all the way up. No, maybe 12 hours. 12 hours say to get to 1 million, and then I peaked at midnight that night at 10K followers. And then by the next day, I was at, like 2 days later, I was at 25,000 followers. So that video had massive effects for my account, but I don't get how that video was so engaged so quickly with so many people, because it must have been the perfect timing of like, I got Americans at a Monday night at 11:30 at night, perfect on the dot, that had massive ramifications for people just being awake. And then that was the massive stockpile, because that video has been viewed a majority of times by Americans. So it's like, it's so complicated when you like break it down to that way that
right, because it just seems unreal, like such large numbers. But I guess, okay, if the engagement is being cut down to such a small amount, then all right, if it's just like watch, okay, I mean, and how long do I need to keep that video on my screen for it to count?
I mean, I'm not quite sure, because I can go into like my individual ones. So like the one video that popped off the most, my average watch time is 14.6 seconds.
Okay.
Versus other ones, which, let me find one that's got long term. Other ones have got 7.7. So I think it's probably like 51% of the total value of the video's time is considered a watch, but they could be running like a Facebook thing where it's like the first 3 seconds are counted as a watch. So yeah.
Right. So, okay. So, yeah, I guess because that's the first thing for me. It was trying to recalibrate what is a lot, here, what is a lot. Okay, on this platform. So, okay, so it's building you, I mean, and again, like fans or followers, what does this mean? I mean, I think it's good for you to create content. It's good for you to just put shit out there. This ability to talk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a kind of, when you're doing this live on TikTok, I mean, it's just a podcast, really.
Yeah.
It's just a podcast for an impromptu podcast, really.
I want to do my own podcast. I want to interview people. I want to do the whole 9 yards, but I'm just fucking lazy as shit right now. And I'm like, I was like, if you ask me a question, I will rant about it for 5 minutes. That's essentially my policy. If you see me, I'll rant for 5 minutes.
Okay.
And I just like doing that. So that's the lives. It's like maybe once a day, or it's like once every couple of days, just whenever I'm feeling it. And then I kind of like, people are like, give us a schedule. A couple people are like, give us a schedule. We want to know when you're going to do it. It's like, I'm just going to do it when I do it, because I think, one, I'm not going to commit myself that at Wednesday at 3:30 I'm going live. I don't want that. But also I think it like makes it more valuable for the experience for myself, that it's more genuine, that I'm like, I just wanted to go live right now. And if you tuned in, I'm happy you're able to tune in. If you weren't, I'll be back next time, try to grab it. And it makes it people more engaged with it. It's like a special thing, I guess I'm trying to make it, versus it just being.
I guess there is a bit. I think I see where you're coming from. It sounds very organic, we just turn it on.
Yeah.
Oh, how's it going? Oh, there's a pop-up. I can see it right now.
Yeah.
Without a schedule. I dare say, yeah, okay, when you get serious about it, then you want to do whatever you're doing to a schedule so people can see. I've kind of learned that from working with Carl and his Twitch streaming, and that's very, and even his time of day is important to make sure that he's sort of not stepping on the toes or of the other big Estonian streamers. Like, it's fine. It's not like they're upset, but they're going to get the views.
Yeah.
And so he knows, all right, he's been very good at going, if I get this time slot, this is actually a time where there's not being serviced by a lot of streamers right now, and it's working very well for him.
Yeah. I mean, before you go live, so what's also interesting about TikTok is to go live, you have to meet one criteria. So you have to have a minimum of 1,000 followers.
Okay.
So that's just like a random criteria. But also before you go live, it'll show you like how many of your followers are active. So if and it's very weird because I want to say from like 12 when my audience will wake up, essentially, are they more active? From 12 to 4, it'll only go from like 11.8 thousand to 12.7 thousand active followers. And in that time period, if I went live, I would probably get congruently somewhere between 5 to 9 people. But those people are far more active than when I go live at, say, 10, 11 o'clock at night, where I'll have 20,000 people and the congruent will be maybe 15. They're not as active, and it's a different conversation. It's different vibe. So I get where the Carl situation is, like not stepping on people's toes, but there's like a different like level of who's active and stuff and who's watching it.
Oh, absolutely. They're different levels of engagement, right?
Yeah.
If I'm watching Twitch, that is sort of a different thing. I'm being involved really in what Carl's doing and that sort of thing. I'm watching it. I would say you're watching it a little bit more like a TV show is being watched that just happens to be live right now.
It's basic. I think it comes down to it being like a solo podcast with video game overlay. Essentially, that's what Twitch streaming is. Unless you're doing like and you can even say like game walkthroughs are different. They're not a podcast. It's still like kind of a podcast. You're still talking about the mechanics. You're still talking about this subject very in depth. You're just doing it at the same time. So it all depends. But that's just my own personal way.
So I feel for you, as we're coming out of these Corona lockdown times and we're going back to live, I think it's going to be interesting for you to work out small and subtle ways to turn that TikTok into a real audience. And to find the ways that people are there, like not overtly, not like, give me a cheer if you saw my fucking TikTok, but what you want to find ways to, okay, so it's very good that you're just making content. Excellent. Yeah. That's number one. Now, if you're making content and you're happy with it and they're fans, it's sort of like finding that little way to convert that into live. Now, there might be a problem that a 13-year-old can't come to the bar, but that's sort of not the way it starts. There are plenty of able-aged viewers as well.
I think like for me, I hate to be like, it's the before. There's a distinctive moment in my account prior to the one video going massively viral and just having a viral video in Estonia versus having a global viral video. Because even before that, I still had people who were coming up to me like, "Oh yeah, I've seen you on TikTok. It was, it was funny. I like it." For me, I will never I might do it as a joke, but I would never seriously go on stage and be like, "Hey, who's seen me on TikTok?" If I do that, I will never live it down. I'm already like really self-conscious about doing TikTok and shit because I've like tried to get Rauno to join TikTok and shit. I've tried to get other comics on it.
Yeah, we all don't want to. None of us understand it or want to be on it.
Well, this is my biggest thing with it is that all of the core guys in their own regards have their own dedicated fan base. Like you wouldn't think it, but there are bitches simping over fucking Daniel Feinbergs. Nobody knows why, but they are. Maybe it's like 3 people, but they do have it. And so I'm just thinking it's like a direct way to engage with people. Sure. And that's the thing that no one knows how that works out. There's no direct correlation. Like there's no direct correlation between the amount of followers on TikTok and the amount of followers on Instagram or TikTok to YouTube. So how the fuck are you going to prove there's a direct correlation between TikTok to like the real world?
What you do, you need to find a way to not identify them and like, shout out who's on TikTok, but slowly over time, like what we're also very good at a group is knowing like, we're also really good at clocking the audience. and clocking them over time. Like,
Yeah.
why are these people here? What are they doing here? Do they know someone? Okay, now after a while, it's really obvious to know who are the Ari Matti, who are the Mikael fans. Sure, but now, okay, that's overt. They're the crazy ones screaming their ovaries out at the back of the room.
Yeah.
But at first, that wasn't always as completely obvious, right? And you start to pick the bits and pieces, and then as a group, we're also very good at knowing. It's like who sells tickets, but who also like who attracts people as well.
I mean, I think like the Ari Matti reference is pretty good because whenever I host, I always want to put him to close the second half.
Sure.
Just because he's always closing the second half. I want him to close the first half. That way, everyone else has to work 10 times as hard. It's just in my head because if I do that, I hope someone would do that, and then I have to follow him. Like I don't want to, but I want to do it just for the sake of doing it because it makes me better. Because if his energy's up here and everyone's and they're like, oh my god, this is the best shit ever, and then I'm like here, like okay, how do I top that? You know, or like how do I maintain that? Really be myself without riding that dick so much. But like, what did I say? Oh yeah, I was just jerking off Ari. He's like so high, like whatever. No, it's just like the fucking Ari Matti girls. They piss me off so much because I'll put them in the closing the first half, and then they'll fucking leave. And because we've been on restriction, I'll see 3 to 4 bitches just get up, walk out, and they'll fucking leave. And I'm like, I had to turn down people today. Like I didn't want to turn down, but if I knew you were gonna leave, and I was like, call me back in 30 minutes when these bitches leave. So yeah, if you're coming to a show on restriction, stay for the whole fucking show, would you? Stop fucking being a bitch about it. I just fucking hate those bitches.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Do you find this angry thing is working for you?
No, it's not. I'm just an angry fucking person.
Yeah, right. Because okay, how do you feel about that level of emotion to display on stage? Because I would say, and I know I've told you this before, like
Too aggressive.
You got to turn down the anger.
And also another thing I get TikTok comments on is like people in live like, why are you so angry? I'm like, I'm not fucking angry. I'm just really in thought, or I'm really into something. I just come across as aggressive. I would say that I get hyped. I hype myself up too when I'm on stage, like, especially like when I'm doing my invasion set, my last one. I want to say I did the shitty thing of writing stuff on my hand, being like, these are the bits I want to make sure I hit. And I was like, this should take me 15 minutes. And I did it in 8.5. And then at that moment, I was like, okay, I've been doing stand-up for 2 years and some change now. I need to quit this shit. They came to see a show. I am a third of the show. I'm just going to be me, do my content, do my material. And then I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I was just like, fuck it. I'm just going to be me on stage. And if I'm going to be super intensive and I'm going to say outlandish shit, I'm going to say it. I don't care. I care enough that I don't want to be overtly offensive and ruin your day. But if I make a dig at you and you kind of get hurt about it, I'm sorry. I don't give a shit. I remember one of the last open mics we were at Oakskike, and there were 2 girls sitting on the right, or at least the stage right column of rows. One of them was wearing a bucket hat, and she looked like she was straight out of Cypress Hill. And her friend right next to her is on her phone texting away. And I made the comments like, hey, how do you feel about being the only member of Cypress Hill in Estonia or something like that? Obviously a deep cut. She got the reference. She was kind of pissed off. I pointed at her. And I was just like, you're on the front row at a comedy show. Why are you on your phone? Like, you're being so fucking disrespectful. And I know as a comedian, I shouldn't take notice of it. I just care about the fact that, like, even if I'm not funny, let me know I'm not funny.
I care too much.
It's fucking
too much.
To a point, like, it is the way I see it. And also, I just think that, like, I hate to be like, oh, I'm all this in a bag of chips. But I think kind of what I'm known for is, like, being a cunt and, like, being aggressive and shit. So I want to maintain, like, an appropriate level of aggressiveness. How
old are you again?
22.
Just checking that. All right, just checking that for all the listeners.
Yeah.
That's all. So we're putting some points of reference in here.
Yeah,
you just said I'm gonna be aggressive. I don't give a fuck.
When I say I don't, okay, it's so hard to explain how I feel about this. I know it doesn't work in the long run. It's very much of a shock comedy kind of thing. I'm trying to go after right now, and it doesn't work because it's not sustainable. But just like trying to burn through material to work out as many ideas as possible as a writing exercise is something that's like, I think everyone should fucking do. I know that right now I spoke with James, and James is like, I really want to work on my crowd work. I really want to do. I was like, fucking do it, man. Just do it. And I know I got shit from people for doing crowd work for a while. And I was like, I don't care, because it's a skill you have to master. Me being 8.5 months into my career doesn't change anything. I still need this. I can either learn it very slowly, or I can just do it for 3 months and fucking figure it out. And that's my approach. And then when you're putting yourself in a situation where you don't really have material and you have to make up shit, even if it's the hack material, you're still working that muscle to do it. So when you have time at home, you can actually write real material, and then you can test it on stage more confidently. But then you're putting a lot of effort into this, and then you care too much, and then you become me, and then you're like angry at bitches and stuff. I remember I've had Dan fucking tell me to deal with hecklers before. So it's like, I like dealing with hecklers, and that's kind of where all my aggressiveness comes from. Is like, if I'm really dedicated or really nervous and I want this material to work and I want to try it, and you somehow fuck me over by just making a fucking noise out of nowhere, I will get pissed off. Jesus. It's not, I don't do it as bad as I used to, but I used to do it really bad in like school and stuff. I don't do it as much anymore.
It's like, you jerk off enough or something? Like, are you getting enough relief out? You go to the gym or something? It sounds like there's a lot of, like, you just, all this frustration that you're just delivering to the audience. Like, someone just made a sound. Like, yeah, it's annoying, but they just made us, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Half these audiences don't know how to react. They're kind of the first time they've been to a stand-up show.
I know it's terrible. I mean, on the note of the gym, on Saturday I walked fucking 11 kilometers just cause, like, after.
Yeah, sure. I saw you on the street.
And then the day after I did another, I got drunk with Hombit walking, did another 7.5. Just because I just need to fucking burn the energy. Like, I'm running out of stuff to do right now. But I think in the larger regards to, like, this aggressiveness, this nature of, like, doing it on stage, I feel like I'm less aggressive as when I started.
Well, sure, okay.
Or like I'm more professional about it.
Agree with, well, let's not go too far.
Yeah.
I can agree with okay, you are less aggressive than you used to be. So there's definitely some progress there about that. I don't know, I'm just sort of like attacking the audience. Like, there is a fine line between, yes, we're joking, we're mocking, and I'm not here to be like, we've all got to be nice. It's not to say we all need to be nice all the time. That's not, there's certainly a time and a place for all those things.
I mean, I'm conscious of it now. Like, when I know there are times that I cross the line, and I straight up called a woman a cunt on stage before because I was just so fucking angry. I don't know if you were there. It was a super drunk chick.
Yeah, I remember that night.
Yeah, like that isn't. After 2.5 minutes of that, and that last minute, that was just me fucking being a mean individual. Now, of course, I just get like really hyper and like really like, I'm gonna do this, and then I just kind of cross the line, and then it's just like, it's up to the crowds to realize if I'm truly being mean, or you can tell that I'm in the fucking moment. And
well, I suspect it's. I mean, your energy is better than no energy, but that is also what we know. So okay, there's this energy to ride right now, because I'm like, I think about TikTok and I'm like, oh God, I have no energy to put effort in. You know, just as an example, right? I have no kind of that, and that kind of aggressiveness. I guess I've felt it a lot during my time, but I just sort of always got the feeling like it was always misplaced.
My aggression.
No, my aggression.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I'm sort of thinking about to my times being more on stage, and when I would get upset at the audience, I really think it was mostly a reflection on me and my ability. Like, my ability, and I'm not denying shock comedy.
Yeah.
I'm not denying the effectiveness of aggression or energy. So not to say that's always bad. I guess I'm just reflecting on myself right now, that I think inside of myself, I was always a little bit like, yeah, you could deal with that more clever than this.
I think when it comes down to it, at least in my case, because I didn't see you in your prime, so it's hard for me to say what your aggression looked like. But for me, I just think it's misunderstood more of the time that I come across as aggressive. I'm not. I'm actually just thinking this out. Like, if I go on stage unprepared, Sometimes it works out. A lot of times it doesn't work out in my favor. And if I look upset, it's just I'm really just trying to figure what out. Like the audience needs to be there for us to do stand up.
Sure.
But if they weren't there, I wouldn't care.
So
right?
so you've got an aggressiveness about a frustration with your own
it's
preparation, your own thing, right?
Yeah, it's never the audience. It may come out on the audience.
It always comes out on the audience.
Yeah, it does.
It may sometimes, I don't know, like always comes out. Like, okay, I see. It's a frustration in yourself.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a way to think about channeling that it's not, the frustration isn't bad.
No.
But then if it gets immediately turned to the audience,
yeah,
it's like, how else can we channel that? Can I channel that into me or something like that? How to view, because then it's like the audience, we're combative with the audience. And so again, I'm not trying to say we all need to be roses and delightful all the time. That's not it. But we're sort of seeing them like, I'm feeling bad. I did a bit, maybe I even prepared the bit and it didn't do that well.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, sort of a combativeness with the audience. I wonder if there's a different way to sort of get the mind around it.
Like, okay, removing the lizard brain of like being on stage and thinking about it right now, since there's no nervousness about going on stage in the next 10 minutes. You know, I think that like the most thing is like just own it, like, because there's part of you is like, you have to commit to the bit, otherwise it's going to fail, and if you don't commit, then it's doomed from the start. So you're saying, okay, I'm committed to finishing this bit regardless of how bad it is, but then how do you get the audience to understand you fucked up and you're trying to work it out? Like, you're trying to, like, you might say something that, like, if I bomb and I like go to the audience, I'm not looking to you to like help. I'm looking for you to stall so my brain can catch up with what it needs to fucking say next.
Sure.
So I never look at like the crowd as you fucked up. No, this is all on me. I'm just trying to work it through. And if I seem aggressive, it's because I'm really trying to figure out what the fuck I did wrong, because I'm going to do this joke again in 3 days.
But nevertheless,
it shouldn't come out.
It comes out that way, and people don't know that monologue that's going on in your brain.
And it what would be like the most beneficial thing to be is be like, oh, okay, that didn't work. What do you think about this? Like, if I was that direct with the audience, being like, okay, I can see where that was racist on that one. If I said this instead, would you have laughed? And even if they gave me like, like, at least that's more of like, we get you. But it does, like, for me, it doesn't come out that way. It's just like, also, I don't remember a lot of my stage time. I have to record it. Sure. Like, I forget it.
But then sort of, I would actually argue that's still a level of aggressiveness with the audience. Jesus, I sound like some sort of left-wing hippie. I'm not trying to be like, oh, aggressiveness. I'm just trying to really hone in on this idea. So even when a bit doesn't go well and you've said, and you just said the lines then, what if, hey, audience guy, would it be better if I did this or that? It's again looking to them and going like, I'm going to ask you now why you didn't laugh at that. They're just some people in a fucking show. They're not thinking about this at the same level that you are. And again, what you're doing is going, you didn't laugh at that. Would you have instead laughed if I said this?
Yeah, and also, like, if I made the joke and if we were on the street, like, it's just passerby, they'd be like, fuck off, man. It's like, but they're stuck in the front row. They can't go anywhere. And also, I think the one thing that stand-up has given me is a deeper appreciation for bar staff, waiters, waitresses. Because, like, if you've never worked service in your life and you've never been part of a live performance, you go into a restaurant, it's a show. The show is a show. You only see what you want to see. But then when you do stand up or you're backstage long enough, you see, oh, this is just a room. There's a lot more freedom. It's very flexible. It's like a home kind of feel. So for them, they're presented this kind of, I guess, the allegory of the cave kind of situation, but you know everything. So I see how it seems attacking, or it seems very aggressive. I think there's just a better way to do it that I haven't figured out, or most people haven't.
Yeah. Right. And I wonder as well, is there a factor here that it's also, there are many advantages to growing up, sort of growing in this Comedy Estonia scene in the small country of the Republic of Estonia, but there are also disadvantages that, you don't have access to a broad range of comedians. You go most of the show being the only English speaker.
Yeah.
So it's more difficult to get. You do get influence. You're hanging out and you're listening, and I'm extremely good at watching and not just understanding a bit. And I don't sort of mean through the language, but the
body language,
tempo and flow. And I can hear like there should have been I'm like, no, that was a punchline and it bombed, didn't it? Because I heard the rhythm. I could hear the and the and there was a beat and you didn't hit it, which means the joke bombed. But and even if you are, you improve with your language, there's still some level of barrier to. It's not sort of just like, if you're back home in America, you might actually be surrounded by more comedy than you are here, ironically. Even though here you have access to the best comedians in the country, in a backstage that you can talk to at any time.
When I started, very apparently, most comics do not have a driver's license. So they need to be driven around. And we go to Tartu, at least at the time we were going to Tartu once a month. And then it got bumped up a couple times. And I think now we're probably going to keep it at a once a week if it's possible, if not every other week. And the one thing I figured out really quick is getting into an Estonian friend group that's very well established as a foreigner, almost impossible. But if you're the only fucker with a car, drive those motherfuckers to Tartu and back, you get them locked down for 4 hours a day, anytime. And then you're driving them. You kind of put the implication, we're going to speak in English. And it kind of builds those friendships. But then you can kind of gain from them. And that's what I did. Like, I fucking hate driving Sander home. I hate how every time he's like, oh yeah, my house, quick drive. It's just down the road. I'm like, no, it's not. That's a 45-minute detour for me. I'm wanting to get home before 3:30. Love you, Sander. But, there are ways to do it, and you can get the advice, and you can really get into their brain and really pick it. But I think there's a beauty to not speaking the language and not understanding the bits. I get the experience of hearing it once in English and then watching them change it in Estonian. And then maybe I hear it 2 months later down in English, and it's changed drastically. I don't see the imperfections every day, but then if I know the rhythm of what they're trying to say, I can pick up their body language and learn from that, even though I'm not a very active comic. But also, I don't run the risk of losing anyone else's material or using their perspectives. But maybe once a month if I hear them in English. And half the time I'm not paying attention in the first place. So when I actually go on stage, it's just me. Maybe there's an idea that there's a premise that I saw on YouTube. There's from the English world that I'm surrounded in virtually and physically, maybe there's an idea that was pulled from there. But a majority of it's just like my experiences and stuff. And it's just me, and that's it. And that's all I understand. So I don't have to worry about being affected by someone else's, because that's something I noticed from a lot of young guys. I won't shout their name out, but one young comic does Ari very fucking well. Not well, but like he mimics Ari super fucking hard. And I don't know if it's because he just consumed all of Ari's online content for years, or that's all he's ever known. And to me, that would be my biggest fear, is coming up in the scene now when Ari, Sander, Mikkel, and Ardo and Carl and Dan and all these guys are either established or they're becoming more established, that their own personal styles are really there. I don't have that fear of running into someone's style. Maybe a hand gesture or a way to walk around the stage, but doing fucking Ari's hands, that's an Ari fucking move. And if I see you doing it, call you out. So I don't have the fear of doing that.
But that would happen anywhere, like in any scene, any time that there's a young artist starting something new.
Yeah.
You don't know what you are yet. You don't know what your voice is yet. Some people do. Some people are right into it. But a lot of time you're like, okay, I'm going to experiment with this. I'm going to experiment with that. Here's a style. Now you want to hope that they migrate out of that.
Yeah.
Or that style keeps evolving, right? Okay, I'm going to do these things. I saw somebody else do them. I'm going to do that style. And you do it and you're like, I'm going to tweak it a bit, or I'm going to change it. And then it's sort of slowly, it can be a starting point.
Yeah.
And I think it's really normal. Like,
I mean,
I think your sort of conjecture is that by not being in that, like you're not influenced as much by what's around you. I can see what you mean by that. I tend to think it's, well,
It's a very backwards way to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, there is a positive. Okay, what you're doing is taking a positive there.
Yeah.
Like, I still think it probably would be better if we were surrounded by more.
Oh, well, 100%. If I was surrounded by English comics all the time, I would be better. Let's just put it that. I don't know what that would mean. I'm not going to play that shoulda, woulda, coulda game right there. But I'll be the first one to say that in terms of like using a comic as a point of reference, I heavily, when I was doing that, like that crowd work phase I went through, where it was like 2-3 months of just doing crowd work, heavily ripped off Andrew Schultz. I will fucking say it out. I heavily ripped him off because I saw what he was doing. He's like, I want to do that. And then I got to a point like, oh, I can really mimic him now, and I'm disgusted that I'm doing this. And to me, I got gross. There was a point in which it wasn't trying to do his style, that I was slowly taking his style, and that felt gross to me. And to me, I'm thankful that that was the only opportunity and chance I ever really found to getting into someone's style. Other than like my direct reference of watching comedians live is their body language. And even at that, most Estonians stand still. Ari's the only guy who like bounces around.
How do you feel? And this is a big topic, but maybe it's the last one for the end of the podcast to sort of get to. How do you feel about the when you look at your comedy and you're doing the Estonian topics right now, and we've already laughed and joked about, okay, it's this hack stuff, right? It's the munamagi, it's the cultural thing. Oh, you guys are silent. It's the every stereotype, and then it's something that I try not to do, but I think I am particularly allergic to it. Particularly, maybe, and I think too much. I'm not saying that the way I view it, I become a little bit blocked up because I just got really, really sick of it. But just how do you sort of see where and it's all an evolution, right? Now there's an evolution that you're doing what you're doing right now. You have a conscious, you're conscious that you are doing sort of these cultural things, and that they have somewhat of an expiry.
I think I look at it this way. So if we're talking, say, another foreigner came to Estonia, started stand-up, same path I did, right? And you made the Surmunamagi jokes and shit. I'll give you shit for it, but I'll be the first one to say I do it too. That being said, I have it in my quote-unquote arsenal, in my rack of guns. I have those jokes I use. Right, the rack of guns. I'll pull off the AR-15 and pop them off. I have those jokes, I use them, but there's a time and a place for it, like hosting. Doing a hosting set, opening the show, Surmunamagi joke, going to be there. Because I can get 95% of that crowd on my side immediately, and I can introduce them to the format, and easy. When I think more of like TikTok, and I'm looking to produce a one-liner that is 6.5 seconds long, and I want high engagement, I look at TikTok as like a marketing thing where it's like, oh, okay, how do I get you, if I'm in the Estonian market, what can I get to you the fastest that I don't need you to understand anything about me? The Surmunamagi shit's going to work. In that terms, if I can get your ass in a seat, listen to me 20 minutes, it's a different experience. We can take that time to speak. But when I look at like jokes and stuff, if you're going on stage, I'm super conscious of it to the point where I try to write jokes as an American. What I like to do is I try to write a joke as an American, as an American, then translate it to Estonia.
Writing a joke as an American just gives me this mental image of like you've got an AR-15 and you dip the end in ink, and then that's how it's your pen and feather that you write with. As an American, I'm writing this.
Essentially, it's that, or I'll write a joke in the quote unquote Estonian mind of thought and be like, how does this translate to America? Or the joke has to be able to be translated. If the key subject is Surmunamagi, or if it's a national icon, landmark, reference like that needs to be said, then it's obviously an Estonian joke. So I try to make sure my jokes are. It's very difficult, of course, to do this, but it's like trying to make a joke that is topical. Is local to the country. Because it's so small, everyone gets the If I make a joke about Annalyn in Tallinn, maybe people won't quite get it, but they'll still understand it. Same with Lasnamäe and Tartu. Like, if I make a Lasnamäe joke I'll put it this way. If I make a Martin Helme joke in the Edinburgh Fringe, nobody's going to fucking get it. So it doesn't work. But if I make a joke about I don't know, fucking getting corona tested, and I just say, oh, the nurse happened to be Russian, that will still work in America. That will still work in England. They'll still get it. The Cold War reference in that bit will still work because it's the knowledge is that she's Russian, not that she's Estonian Russian or she's a gray passport holder. And so I think that the evolutionary step there is there has to be a point in which you become conscious of the fact that you're not being a hack. It may seem like hack, but it's not, because you're taking the moment in time to be like, okay, I'm not asking for it. I'm giving it to you. You are responding positively how I want you to respond, but I'm not being like, oh, I'm a good foreigner. I know your reference. Like I use VMC bitches a lot in my reference. And I'll even equate them to the version of LA. But I'm never using VMC bitches in a term like I know them. It's no, VMC bitches is how I would explain white girl, Starbucks white girl here.
When we were going back to that aggressiveness thing,
Yeah.
I even think bitches in that line is too aggressive. Like, have you seen these VMC bitches? You're like, whoa, yeah, okay. Now, I'm not getting all feminist on you here. I'm not trying to be like feminist about it, being like, you shouldn't refer. I'll be like, it's like, hey, these VMC chicks. You seen these chicks?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You seen these little,
I feel like part of me feels is that whenever I'm brought on stage, I am okay. Sander wants to do his little introduction like, oh, he's going to speak English. It's from America. Or Popov does it straight out of New York. Like, they all have their own similar fucking taglines for me to bring me on. They have to introduce me. I'm in English. I get it.
Sure.
But when they mention me being an American, I always feel like, okay, now I have to carry all that attention of what America is fucking boiled down into a sentence. And if America right now seems fucking racist due to George Floyd's killing, okay, well, now that's an intention I might have to face. So if I say VMC white girls, I don't know who's going to see it. I don't know who's going to appear to it. They may think, oh, there's no black girls in VMC? Like, I mean, like, sure, there's black girls in VMC. I don't know.
I can say bitches without using bitch. Like, you've used another word about race, but chicks.
Chicks. Also, I like just being that guy. Basic white girl. I feel like
white girl, yeah.
Basic ass bitches. I just think that sounds cooler though.
Okay.
Basic ass bitches. And not to mention too, I'm also of the mindset that if you in your private life will use these words, bitches, cunt, faggot, whore, rape, I'm not going to say the N-word, by the way. That's the one word I won't say. But if you're going to use these in your private life, and I know that behind closed doors, you're either consuming content that uses these, or you are saying these words and jokes, or you're using them possibly derogatory, then me saying them on stage, it doesn't make a difference, because at least I have the balls to say it publicly. And two, I'm at a comedy show. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just trying to make a joke that I thought was funny. And if you take it offensively, it's not my...
I think, though, with something like VMC bitches, right? I'm not offended by it. I'm not like, it's not that. It's a harshness. What I think it speaks to, Caleb, is a very blunt use of the language.
Yeah.
And I think that there are more subtle versions. Like, you're like, well, that's what people say, so I'm going to say it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying these things. First of all, we're not George Carlin being carved, carted away by the cops in 76.
Yeah, exactly.
But by trying to find another term for it, to really just focus in on this one kind of thing, VMC chicks, VMC white girls, the VMC basic chicks, even basic bitch, kind of even saying basic VMC basic bitch lightens the sentence for me, because basic bitch is like basic bitch. It's like bitch, basic bitch.
Yeah.
Sounds like two different things. So
one's more like socially acceptable.
It's
versus
not. Yeah, I sort of feel like it's a little bit like using a big hammer when we don't. You're still kind of coming around to the idea that I could use multiple small hammers. I can be more subtle with my use of language that doesn't just fucking bam clobber them over the head. Like, you're like, I'm gonna say these things. We're all there. Boof. That they're, you can flank them
I think
instead what you're doing is coming down the middle, where I'm like, you can flank them a little bit with the use of language.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the next evolution for me to take in terms of comedy is like, okay, I've done the storyline aspect of learning. I've learned how to tell a story, tell it with jokes, the structure, like the basics of that I very well know. Now it's like, and looking at my actual lines, word for word, like what is the right word? How would you say this? Because, you know, for me, when I talk about like, because I go to EBS, right? It's a very rich person kind of school. There's a very specific image that you have when you go to EBS. And for me, you know, maybe it's like the teenager in me who's still upset about high school or some shit. But when I think of VMC bitches, I'm not really thinking of VMC bitches. I'm just thinking, or VMC girls from VMC. When I think about it, I'm not thinking about them particularly. Sure. That's like the easiest way for me to explain the reference I'm thinking of, which is realistically that like popular girl in high school who was like rich,
sure,
snobby. Like that's how I see it. So for me, calling them bitches isn't really me calling bitches. Like I'm calling that specific person in my head a bitch. It's just the audience doesn't quite get it. And
it's the label, right? Again, I think that demographic is fine to take. Yeah. It's not a problem with using that demographic. Itself. It's the label. It's the power of the word, which is kind of what Carlin was trying to point out, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I can say all those things. I mean, just because I can, should I? Or just because I can say them, people will still feed them in. I think Hunt is still taken, like, I think I still feel like I'm not opposed. I'm not here to be like, you kids with your language and you're saying the bad words. That's not it. It's more of a discussion about how people will interpret a word a certain way and how can I use variations of that word to flank them a little bit, to sort of be a little bit like, oh, I'm not gonna cringe up your asshole with one word, but instead I'm just gonna lure you in, do that, and then kind of go for them.
Yeah. Right? I mean, I had a recent TikTok do very well and then get taken down for bullying and harassment, and I think that kind of highlights what you're saying. Okay, this also pissed me off too. So basically, this girl. So in TikTok, you can make what's called a stitch, right? So basically, you can pull 5 seconds off of someone else's video, and then you can video right after it. Okay. So this girl was like, "If yo dick." I've used like her voice was very so much like stereotyped. She's like, if yo dick is like 3 inches long, you can shut your motherfucking mouth and some shit like that. I was like, oh, okay, we're playing this game. You're saying that I am devalued as a man because my dick is small. So I went ahead and I said, I grabbed my vacuum and I turned it on. I said, if you cannot compete with the suction of a 12 amp vacuum, politely go fuck yourself. Turned it off and I said, God damn, you're already as loud as a vacuum. You might as well suck as good as one. I feel like that is like over the top, trying to be rude, make a point. And I get, somehow that seems way softer than saying VMC bitches. Does that sound like harsh?
Kind of. I don't know what's par for the course. Certainly doesn't sound par for the course with today's society, but is that what we're doing now on young people's social media? Just yelling dick insults at random chicks? I mean, she's out there giving her opinion about something.
I hashtagged it body positivity. Double standard, just because that's the way I see it. And I think a lot of the way I look at it is just, it's a standard that if we're going to use these words, you should expect it in every term. I get where you're coming from in regards to, and I also appreciate it is something that I need to be more focused on, and I need to do it if I want to get better at stand-ups. I need to be conscious of how I'm using the word because the word carries weight. I just do not appreciate or enjoy the fact that words carry weight, because every word should, of course the word has to carry weight, but I don't like saying you shouldn't say it, or maybe you should say it a different way, because it's easier on my ears. It's like, I do not care. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Of course, it's hypocritical of me to have this point of view because I'm very much so into freedom of speech, but then I know that if for marketability, I need to change how certain things are operated. Does that make sense?
I guess I see where you're coming from, because just to be clear, it's not about, to me, even about marketability. Yeah. It's not about offensive or not offensive. I don't care what the word means. Yeah. It's more just I'll take a step back and say, what is my mission here? My mission is to make a joke that these people will laugh at, that they find funny. How may I best do that? Now, that doesn't mean that I need to be all soft and I need to be just a guy who never approaches harsh topics. That's not it.
Yeah.
But it's like, what's the smartest way for me to achieve my goal of making them laugh? And it might be to only go 50% intensity on some parts of it so I can get them in and then later with something else.
Yeah, I think you're saying don't full send it on everything.
I guess so. Yeah. That there's a way that we can, like it, by saying, we can manipulate language, we can use words, use the subtlety of words, use tone and inflection to change words. I'm not promoting censorship here. I'm promoting greater use of the language to get your point across in a better way.
Yeah, by increasing your vernacular will enable basically improve the vocabulary and the variety of words and and tonality of it, which will have a better effect on the audience.
Because I suspect, and so I was thinking about, this is sort of where I was going in a very long way about this, is this conundrum of the foreigner doing comedy in the foreign land.
Yeah.
And how does that career cycle go? And we have some examples from Estonia already of how that's gone on, of the way that we can chart these things. I'm not sure that Stuart and I are good examples of how either of us should carry on our career and how either of us have tackled that situation, how that growth goes. We tackled it in different ways, and I'm not sure either one of us really cracked that successful formula. But the one really great example that I do have is a bloke called Al Pitcher in Sweden. You ever heard of Al Pitcher? So Al Pitcher is New Zealand guy, married a Swedish woman, and probably about 10, 12 years ago moved to Sweden.
Yeah.
And that is also coincidentally when I was running shows in Sweden. So Al shows up, I'm doing the English night, Al shows up on the scene, and he's pretty well, like he's a really just knockabout, just seems like a happy-go-lucky kind of New Zealand guy.
Yeah.
And he's clearly really good, and he's already able to headline. He's already done a couple shows internationally at different festivals and things. So he's already been grinding away at the clubs. He's already at a certain
level,
quite a high level. But he's got a really unique style. He's just so easy and fun. Like everything he does is fun. Everything he does is nice and fun. He's going to hate me when I say nice, but he's just really super fun. And you could already see it there. And I remember the way that he bowled into the scene is that a foreigner coming out of nowhere, very well established Swedish stand-up scene.
Yeah.
And he did really well because he's a great comedian. It's funny. And I remember I even forget who it was, one of the top Swedish comics at the time talking to me in the backstage, and he's like, this guy Al Pitcher, like he's talking about fucking coffee breaks. What do you have? The fika coffee break and the cinnamon rolls and like every Swedish stereotype he is rolling out, well-worn ground that everybody knows. He's rolling out every stereotype, and we love it. And this Swedish comic's like, he turns to me and says, I shouldn't like this, but I really fucking love it.
Yeah.
And it's possible. But he did it, I think, first of all, because Al is an amazing comedian.
Yeah.
First of all, hugely talented guy. Now, it's 12 years later, he's doing stadiums.
In Sweden.
He's doing stadiums in English. So you see his 2020 schedule. If you go to alpitcher.com, the 2020 schedule that got postponed due to COVID. It's stadium. When you look down the list, he's been on TV. Like he's that fucking good at, like, it's certainly possible to lean into the cultural stuff. But I'm not, and not to say it needs to be done in a happy way. I guess the only really great example that I have is someone who did it in a really, really happy kind of positive sort of style. Go ahead. I've got one more thing about Al, but go ahead.
I would say that in regards to what you're saying about the culture and stuff, I'm not. How old were you when you came to Estonia, by the way?
30.
You moved when you were 30. How old was Stuart when he moved?
Yeah, maybe late 20s, mid 25, and 26. Stuart's like a generation before me here. Let's say it.
Yeah. So the way I look is I was here when I was 18. I started coming to Estonia when I was 16, repping the streets, Noma 213, what all the fuck, right? But to me, when you're in your developmental years in university, whatever culture you are immersed in is going to affect your way of looking at the world. It's going to affect who you are and your approach to things. And I hate to say, I did not have a lot. I had no American friends growing in Estonia, sort of say. I only had Finnish, Estonians, and Russians, and they drastically changed my view on the world and how I approach it. So my view would be to the cultural stuff is that as long as you're not taking it for granted, which would be that stereotypical hack shit, and you're appreciating what you're talking about, then it's very doable. Because let's be honest, if I made a joke about, say, Surmunamagi, but if I made the joke and an open micer made the joke who's Estonian, that same joke's going to be treated a little bit differently. Like a foreigner, Estonians will look at it being like, oh, you're just reaching because you're different. But whereas the Estonian side would look at it as like, oh, write better material. So
but I think the difference is, there's a limit to, like, the observations need to get better and deeper.
Yeah.
Because right now you're working at a certain level, you're new to this, fair enough. You're exploring, seeing where this goes. But I guess the one time in this episode I'll sound like old man, which is always, I know, like, you will get sick of this shit.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get sick of this shit. And you're going to sick of, like, it's what's the angle or what's my personal opinion on this. And it's going to, or be like Al Pitcher, which he certainly does have his opinions in there, but he's so friggin' good and just has a very positive spin through all of his comedy that we're just like, I feel so happy. But to wrap up this podcast, I want to leave you with one idea. Rip off Al Pitcher. Oh, I was going to love this. Rip off his idea. He had adapt it to TikTok.
Okay.
I've taken Al's concept, but Al did a show called the Al Pitcher Picture Show.
Yeah.
We even did it in Tallinn with him once.
Okay.
And the whole show is he has a projector, like a thing in a projector. Yeah. And the whole concept is that he comes to the town that day. He has to walk around that day, take pictures, and then he shows them. He's an amazing improver as well. He's also very good at that. He takes pictures and goes, oh, that's weird, and that's weird, and that's weird, and then displays them on the screen during the show. And he's got a structure. So first of all, there's probably a certain level of pictures that are kind of random, use everywhere that he can easily adapt the jokes. Some things are completely unique. And then he's actually got some pictures from his greater collection that perform sort of like the bookends, the start and the end. And, he's got like a great sort of ender, which isn't necessarily just the stuff he got today. Okay. But he builds it up and, that, and what the formula is. Yeah. It's so friggin' easy. Go around, make, what the hell is this thing I saw? What are you people doing? He goes down to the train station. Yeah. And the train in Estonian, wrong. And the train station side says, wrong info. And he's got 5 minutes about that saying it's the wrong info, which we all know. Okay. We've all seen that, but it was great. He was so good at repackaging that up. You could do that with TikTok. Yeah. Visit. Like your TikTok live is like, oh, today I'm visiting Viljandi. Yeah. And I'm going to walk around Viljandi and take photos of everything. And then either I guess you could put them live straight up as I'm going, what the hell is this? But then that could be condensed into a TikTok live where you then go back and review that or talk about that and actually make that into a like. So,
I think it would be really cool to do. So on the TikTok format, I think what I'm getting at is the best would be to do. Repeating that. Take the image, throw it up in the corner, and be like, "Today I was here." And am I getting it right that it's like say a John Oliver kind of structure where you see the image about something different and then he like talks about that image?
Yeah, well on stage there was a projector. Oh, okay. So he had a huge projector behind him and like, look at this. So however you can do that however the technology allows you to do that on TikTok. Yeah. I'm walking around Viljandi, I get off at the bus station and here's this stupid Stein. Look at this, right?
I think I'm going to do this mainly for the fact is it felt like it took years to hit like the level I'm at. Well, it did take years to get to the level I'm at with stand up, and it's like I'm growing tired of old shit. Need new. I want to burn material because I want to write new ones. But now it's like I've hit a point where all the hack Estonian content does not fucking work as much. Like I can see from statistics being like, where is this content being viewed from? Are they my followers or are they like new people and stuff? And so I think this is going to actually enable me to have a new kind of look on it, being like, oh, I'm not just saying outlandish stuff about it.
And at least you're there.
Yeah.
Like that's something as well. Like, I'm just Viljandi stupid because of this street and that sign and that. But at least you're there. I mean, that makes a big kind of difference. It gives you context. You're there in front of it. You're not just sitting in front of your computer being a hater or saying the same sort of thing. Yeah, it might be fun. Like, hey, and people could ask. You could say, hey, tomorrow I'm doing the trip. I'm going to Voodoo. Tell me what I should be looking at in Voodoo. I'm sure all those people will go nuts. Yeah. And then you take the pictures and then you do a final one. And then maybe this is the first time you do actually schedule a TikTok. Yeah. You do schedule and go, hey, and now I'm going to do the Voodoo TikTok at live at this time. And by then, if you've walked around, you've already done the individual TikToks. Yeah. You've worked through a little bit. I want to do this. And then you've sort of got here's my day. I mean, you seem to fucking be able to talk underwater, so it seems like then you could easily turn that into an hour on TikTok of feedback with that town. Yeah, no, that would actually be, I mean, I think that's the one thing I think as foreigners we struggle with is getting those small towns, as in it's easy to ride the train of the core and everything, but to actually make a successful career in Estonia is getting those small towns and getting maybe not the small towns, but those mid-sized towns where there's a chunk of people who are going to speak English. Never going to pack the audience, but you can still get them. And I think now, at least with the audience that's slowly growing, as long as they stay there for a little bit, you can kind of grow it up. And I suspect it helped Al. Now, Al would have done this show 10 years ago, let's say. Yeah. Right? Before he was doing stadiums, he was doing some theaters. Pretty soon he was headlining clubs, and then he got bigger things, and there was some TV. But he was doing this early, not like people knew him. Yeah. But it was a great concept. People, it's easy for them to relate to it. I think, though, it gave him a knowledge of Sweden. Yeah. Because you walk into a town, and you're supposed to just walk around all day. You get time. You don't just sit as we do in your hotel room or just sit on your phone all day or something like that. Yeah. Like it really gave him knowledge walking around these places. And maybe that's not only will it endear people to you because you actually walked around their town, but you genuinely learned. Yeah, you genuinely did it. I'm a firm. I remember I was speaking to this American fellow, and he was going ahead and he was complaining about Estonians being cold and not open. And I said, do you know when you're leaving Estonia? And he was like, yeah, I'm thinking like 2-3 years. I'm like, that's the problem here. Did you tell them you were only going to stay for a short time? Like, they're like, yeah. He's like, yeah, what's wrong? I said, you have to think about the Estonian mental image. It's been like 26, 27, 29 years since the collapse of the Union. Still a very young country. And all the older people all the people who have made their money and they've left, or they've retired, and now you got this new generation really coming into the workforce. You got this new generation taking up higher management. They want to keep it as Estonian as fucking possible. They do not want outsiders. They don't want their money going away. And I'm a firm believer that Estonians back their own. So even if you're foreign, as long as you can show value to Estonia, they'll always fucking back you. And I think that's the key point to there, is that if you can prove to them that you've taken not like a rip-off quick little grab at them, but like, no, I took a genuine interest to be in the middle of nowhere, to experience what your town had to offer, experience what you had, and then you get those fuckers. You get the random people who don't speak English be like, no, I like you. And not to mention, they really care to see you succeed. They care to see that goodness. And that's kind of the thing with the foreigner. You have to prove to them. And I think that's what that really worked for Al, is being able to prove to people like, oh, no, I'm not just some random guy passing through. I'm in it for the long haul, and I respect and I appreciate your country. We should do it. We've got to work. I'm trying to, like, should it just be a phone, or I'll come with you? Yeah. We'll go somewhere. I would love that. We could do Rapla. Not Rapla. We could do Rakvere. We could do the bowl. Okay. That'd be a good one. Oh, yeah. You could do the foreigners tour Estonia kind of thing and make it a day. No, you wouldn't want to tour Estonia.
Oh no, you could. I'm just saying, like, you go to Narva, you could rip on so much stuff there. You could have a great time.
Sure.
And
Just
you
take
could
pictures, do little TikToks.
that would be awesome. Yeah. And you also, I think too, the beauty with TikTok is how it's structured is that you can just make chains of TikTok. So if one of them falls in, people can just watch everything to do, and it'll be a stellar day to do. I'm excited for it.
Well, we're going to work on this concept, okay? I feel this, so we'll work it out. So, but let's wrap it up there. We've been almost for 2 hours. So, Caleb, it'd be very interesting to learn about the TikTok revolution.
Thank you so much
And,
for having me.
how you are addressing, being a foreigner in Estonia, and we've all got our own particular formula that we need to follow, and what's your particular take on it. It's really cool, man.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
No worries, bro. Thank you for listening.